And it is Tuesday, September 6th, 2022, here with your live show. We're live 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Of course, normally I'm with Chris Ruffalo. I don't know where he is. I rang him and he did not answer, and I rang him again. So we'll see if he shows up. If he does, of course, he's more than welcome to sit here and talk baseball with us. Of course, college football, 1 week in the books, and we're just a few days away from NFL Sunday, week 1. So pretty exciting times. Those of you that are joining us late, Chris isn't off the show or any of those things. Just don't know where he is. So we'll hang out. We'll wait for him. And we'll do the best we can. If you guys have any questions, it's a great time to ask those as well. Of course, if they're game pick questions, we're going to go over the games today. If they're game picks from this weekend or whatever, we only go over the games that are today. So hopefully you guys are doing all right. And I hear Ruffalo. I hear heavy breathing.
Sorry.
Heavy breathing and drooling. Let's see if we can bring him in. Chris, welcome.
Oh, thank you. Sorry, having a house with one bathroom really stinks.
Anyways, it is Tuesday, September 6th, 2022. Of course, we're live every single day, and Chris, week 1 of college football now officially in the books. Anything jump off the page yet for week 2? Obviously, we're going to go over a lot of the big games over the course of the week. We've got NFL this week, but anything just jump off the page and you look at the lines for week 2 and you just say, man, I got to get me some of this one right here, right now, because if anyone wakes up and sees this, I'm not going to get this anymore.
Well, I think you're starting to convince me on that. I mean, if I wasn't convinced before on that Alabama against Texas, going all the way up to 3 or 4 scores. Oh, man. But the one thing that kind of also stood out was maybe not something that necessarily I would bet, but that Michigan line opened at 50.5 against Hawaii. That some of these lines are kind of blowing my head off. But another one I kind of like right now is Iowa State. I think I'm reading into that sluggish performance against South Dakota State. I'm not saying it's going to doom Iowa, but I think Iowa State, they take these rivalry games seriously, and I think they're going to show up to Kinnick Stadium to play.
I'm on a flat-out fade of Texas A&M this year. They're my Padres, and just very, very similar to the Padres, a team that really hasn't accomplished anything, that went out and got a lot of high-priced free agents and, still have the same coach, still the same core, and until they get over the hump and playing in, the toughest division out there, well, we're not going to see much from them. They play App State this week. They got Miami next week at home. 16.5 against an App State team that we know is a little bit of a sieve on defense, but the Texas A&M offense looked terrible against Sam Houston State. A couple of big plays here and there, but outside of that, it was mundane to say the least, and the most overrated team in the country at number 7, and at least one of them. And App State, at least for all the points they gave up against the North Carolina offense that's better than the Texas A&M offense, much better. They also put on 61 too. So I think Texas A&M is in for at least a little bit of a scare. I'm gonna probably put some money line on some App State there for me, and also I'll take the points. Anything else jump off the page at you just before we get started into today's baseball?
No, I'm just scouring through the lines quickly to see if there's anything that's
I've already dialed in, did my research. I took all yesterday. There was day baseball, and I kind of took it as a couch day, and I went through all the games, and I'm ready to go for college football week 2 already. It's like I know who played who, what they did, everyone. I know, the ins and outs. I'm ready to go. I know Auburn's 2 quarterback system and all that stuff. There's another team, right? Brian Harsin done nothing at Auburn, absolutely zero. And then you got Kent State or San Jose State, Xavier Cordero coming over from Hawaii at QB. I think Auburn wins this game, but we've seen Auburn in spots like this win by 8, plenty of times, and it was a shaky 8 at that, especially with Harsin as the head coach. I think that, I think what we're starting to see with some of these head coaches, like Avalosa Boise, who was Harsin's replacement, maybe these guys aren't the guy, Maybe you're not the guy.
Yeah.
We do that on our show, too. Sometimes we just wake up one day and say, you know what, you're not the guy anymore.
No, but I think something that maybe if people are gonna bet on Oklahoma, you might want to do it now, because I have a feeling that line is gonna skyrocket as well.
I like the other side of that one too. I like almost all the dogs this week except for Texas. What do you like about Oklahoma?
I don't know. I just think that the offense clearly didn't skip a beat. I mean, granted, you're gonna have to take on Kent State, but Kent State kind of had their doors blown in by Washington as well. And Oklahoma, and like I said, the offense still clicking. And
but there's a difference between week 1 and week 2, where the team is basically prepped, for months for this game, and then all of a sudden it's week 2. It's a short week. You're back to normal. It's not like they spent part of the time, game planning for Kent State. They spent the whole time, for UTEP.
No, I get it, but
you got to spend at least 4 weeks, 5 weeks of prep on UTEP. Everyone knows that.
I just think if you're going to look for any week 1 to week 2 carryover, if with just a 1 week sample size, Oklahoma, knowing what we know about Oklahoma, how usually they can be a bit of a sieve defensively and just worry about offense first. Now they got a better offensive coach in Brent Venables, and now we'll see if they can put if this is where the rubber meets the road, if they can actually start playing some solid defense and keep a pretty good offense going as well.
Let's just say it, I think Clemson does have a quarterback controversy. I think listening to Dabo's interview after the game made it clear that he's fully content to switch quarterbacks at any given time. He certainly has done it in the past. How long do you think he waits?
A couple weeks, if that.
Yeah, if that, right? I mean, we clearly have a better quarterback on the bench. So.
I think it's a 2 week. I think by week 4, the switch could happen.
He even said, he's like, these guys are team players. They root for the other guy. He was like made it very clear that no problem changing him in and out. No loyalty to anyone. I like Kentucky plus the points against the Gators. I think the Gators win. I think Kentucky covers that one. I think Florida's sucker bet. I think that you'll see a lot of public action on Florida because of the high-profile win against Utah. And Kentucky actually usually starts the season gangbusters. They've played Florida like extremely tough over the last 5 years or so. Looking at that one. Tomorrow we'll probably talk NFL. And Sunday I go on the road. Thursday I'll be on the road for the show. Hopefully we have no tech issues. If we do, we'll figure it out. And then, I don't know. To me, it just seems very doggy next week. But I do like Michigan minus the 50. We like to call that half 100.
I was waiting to hear your thoughts on that game when you saw that line.
Yeah, I like a lot of the dogs. Who's Nebraska playing? Georgia Southern. There's a live dog for you. Anyways, let's get to today's Major League Baseball schedule. I got a meeting at 11 a.m., so we're going to have to move. No lollygagging. We invented lollygagging on this show. Mets against the Pirates. Taijuan Walker getting the nod here against Mitch Keller. Chris, you going to watch this one?
Well, I was going to say if it was an early start, I might, but the doubleheader saved for tomorrow. So I'm still going to lean towards the Mets. I know Taijuan Walker's had issues in his career against the Pirates. I think across 3 starts, he's got an ERA up around 8, but the Mets are just in a groove right now. And Mitch Keller, while he was a pitcher, we were making some money with in an underdog role. He's back to being the Mitch Keller that we've made money fading. So I think the Mets come out to play today, have some rest under their belt, and that's only going to help them here. So give me the Mets on the run line here.
I like, yeah, I'm going to go with you on the Mets. So Saturday I was watching the games, and, I have my standard, 3 TV, my 4 TV setup. And, I was having trouble because I had the iPad set up and then I had four over. So what I did was I wheeled the TV. You can see I took a picture of it. So here's my my general 4 TV, and then I took this one. I wheeled it out of the office. It's on a little cart out of the studio. So I have it on a cart, and I wheeled it out there for the 5th TV. Yeah, to watch the game. So I had 5 TVs, the iPad, and the computer. So I had 7, a little over half dozen. Screens going to say that. I'm a fixer, Chris. That's what I do. I see problems, I fix it. The type of person I am. Certain people have things. They certain people are, they're the caring. They have the whatever. Me, I'm a fixer. I can't help it.
When you said you wheeled it out, I seriously thought you were going to say it was like one of those little old school wheel carts.
Oh no, I got it. It's in the studio. I got it right here.
Yeah,
it's right. That's how I do the halftime shows. I have a 55-inch TV that's 3 inches away from me. Everyone knows I'm old. Haven't you read the YouTube comments? They'll tell you how old I am. I've been called old and crappy by people that I made millionaires. That's how old I am. Told the game passed me by. That was my favorite. That was a long time ago. Anyways, actually, it's today. We've got the Rays against the Red Sox. Drew Rasmussen against Rich Hill. I don't know. I think the Rays might own the Red Sox recent history. Says, I think the Rays have won 91 in a row against the Red Sox. Is that what that says, Chris?
It could be. I'm not 100% sure. It could be a couple off of that.
What do you think of this game?
Yeah, I know. They've won 9 straight as home favorites. So, but I do think that the Rays.
When's the last time they were dogs against the Red Sox at home?
Yeah, this is true. I don't know. It might have been. Yeah, it might have been earlier. Well, it might have been earlier this season. Who knows? I haven't kept track of that, but I do think the Rays are the play here. Both teams have been playing well lately, but for me, it's all about Drew Rasmussen. He puts the Rays in the best possible the best possible spot for them to get a win when he's on the mound. And over his last few starts, a 1.85 ERA across his last 7. Rich Hill's been pitching a little bit better in a couple of his recent starts, but he's still only a 5-inning guy at best. And in those 4 or 5 innings, he's doing some damage. Last time he gave up 4 runs in 4 innings against the Texas Rangers. And I think if he does that here, it's going to be more than enough for the Rays to get a win in this one. So I'll take the Rays.
8 in a row as home favorites, 7 in a row straight up at home versus the Red Sox. So that 8th game was the last time or 9 games ago, something like that. From there, you can figure it. You can do the math. We can't. Somebody can. Not us, but somebody can. But, yeah. We got the Phillies. Aaron Nola, he got pelted last time. I think that's putting it nicely. He got bitch slapped, I think was the proper term on that one. He got absolutely crushed. Do you think prison rape would be a correct term on that one? Because, he got slaughtered. He got absolutely crushed. And here he is against Jesus Luzardo at home. Let's take a look at Aaron Nola's stat line from last time. I know that he went over was looking for the octagon and a place to tap is what he was doing. 4 innings, 10 hits, 8 runs, all earned in a bomb on 83 pitches in Arizona. 12-3 was the finale of that thing. But Nola, he wanted out. He wanted out. He wanted off that mound. in a hurry. No walks in that thing either. 10 hits, 8 runs, no walks. It was all just ball on wood. Chris, what do you think? Nola bounces back here.
After that description, I know you're gonna give him the laugh track for this one, but I think he does. It's not my favorite play on the board by any stretch.
Is it
But
because of the minus 240 odds? Is that why it's not your favorite?
No, it's because we all know that Aaron Nola is capable of getting blown up. But if there's one team he's performed well against this season, it is the Miami Marlins. 2 runs allowed over 15 and a third innings of work. And the thing about the Marlins is that they're still having scoring issues. That's now 8 straight games where they've scored 2 runs or less, 9 of their last 10. And the Phillies, we know what the offense is capable of. They put up 3 or 4 runs here. It could be enough to cover the run line. So lean towards the Phillies run line, but I'm probably not a game I'm betting today.
Kind of reminds me of that old joke, Chris. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Jesus.
Jesus who?
Jesus Luzardo is going to kick the Phillies' asses today. Anyways, I like the Marlins in this one. I like the value, and I like Jesus Luzardo on the mound here. The Marlins kind of saved him, in the minors most of the season, and I'm going to go with Jesus in this one. You like that one, don't you, Chris?
I do.
I've been saving that one all season. Yeah, I got it. This is my A material,
I don't know why that made me laugh so much.
Well, it's because it was unexpected.
I just picture Luzardo walking up to the Phillies locker room and knocking on the door. Excuse me.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Hey, he's Luzardo's gonna kick the Phillies' ass. That's who. All right. Speaking of ass kicking. Yesterday, I talked Chris off the ledge, and I probably saved him a couple shekels there in the process in that Yankees-Twins game. Twins now moved to 1-17 at the stadium in their last 18. That was like the sharps were all. That was like the Bittler. The squares are all over the Yankees in this one. It's like, yeah, they're 16-1 at home against the Twins straight up. It's like, did you see the Aaron Judge home run? It was like he looked real intimidated by those squares out there. It's like, oh man! But Joe Ryan has not been good, since the first month or so of the season. He's up against Cole, who's also not been good. This thing could be an over 6.5. This thing could be over in the third inning. I like the over in the Yankees Twins. How about you?
Yep, I'm with you. By the way, Aaron Judge, one of the home run prop winners we gave out on that YouTube VIP premium show yesterday. So definitely check that out. But I think we're gonna have another couple today, but I'm with you. I love the over here. I'm ticked off I didn't put it in as a premium because you look at Joe Ryan's last 2 road starts, he's allowed 16 runs, 15 earned, over 9 2/3 innings of work. And Garrett Cole, he's getting paid $35 million, but not pitching like a $35 million pitcher. We see his last 4 home starts, he's allowed 4 more runs in 3 of those 4 starts. So capable of getting hit here as well. I'm with you. I think this could get over by the middle innings. Give me the over 6.5.
Yeah, I like the over big time in that game. Al McMorty's texting me. He's mocking somebody.
Oh, was he getting a laugh? It was Jesus Luzardo too.
Well, our friends at Doc Sports took out an ad in one of those things, and it says, experience matters. But if you look at the way they spelled experience, obviously spelling doesn't. It's like, these guys, let's put it in super hyper bold text.
Experience.
That's funny. That's hilarious. Oh, man.
Oh, that's great. We're giving everybody a ton of material to work with today.
We got the Orioles and the Blue Jays Going at it. Oh man, did I get my ass kicked on this one yesterday? I had the over in the first game, and then the second game, Jordan Lyles didn't pitch, so my bet got scratched. But I had a premium pick on it, which I took the loss on like a man because whatever. But Jordan Lyles didn't pitch, so I got no action on my loss. Hopefully, everybody else did that took my pick on that one. Chris, what do you got here? I think the Orioles bounce back these next two games. What do you think here?
I never thought I'd say this about Kyle Bradish, but he's been outstanding in his last couple starts. 15 straight shutout innings, and he played against the Guardians and the Astros on the road in those two starts. For me, this one just all boils down to the Jays aren't going to win every single game. Yeah, they've won 5 straight and 7 of the last 8, but now they're starting Mitch White, who's been dreadful in his time with the Blue Jays and was the only reason that the Blue Jays don't have an 8-game win streak coming into this one. So I do lean towards the Orioles here. I think they pick up a win in this one behind another strong start from Bradish, and yeah, I'll take the Orioles here in the plus money.
I'm gonna take the Orioles as well.
Well, now I see it's out of plus money and into a near coin flip.
Is it?
Yeah.
I think the thing is the Orioles were so bad in those games yesterday. They were just terrible. They really went through the bullpen and just got crushed. Let's see. We've got the Cubs and the Reds. Wade Miley up against Justin Dunn. Let's see what the wind's blowing. Wind blowing in at Wrigley today. What do you think of this one?
Yeah, for me, I like the value here with the Cincinnati Reds. Justin Dunn, he's really picked it up in his last couple of starts, and for me, this just boils down to the fact that I don't want to be laying minus 165 with the Chicago Cubs on a good day, but now with Wade Miley, who hasn't pitched in 2 months, going against the even the Cincinnati Reds, I think that the Cubs could be in a little bit of trouble here. Still just 2-8 in their last 10, and 28-38 at home this season doesn't spell minus 165 for me. So give me the Cincinnati Reds and the plus money in this one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Reds too. I like the first 5 as well. Reds. I like the Yurfie. Kind of like the catalog here. The Cubs just terrible at home, terrible in their last 10. The Reds actually not playing horrible baseball. Chris, what are you selling today?
Well, today for me, I got my $15 pick-off play. We hit a speed bump with the Cardinals yesterday, but that just means we get to start a new streak again. And I also got that $15 play as part of my Tuesday Top Tips MLB 3-pack for $40 at Pick Dogs Premium. And make sure that you use that promo code WIN15, get 15% off your purchase.
So, Paul is saying any NFL contest kicking off this year, Pick Dog. So here's the problem that we had is that I had a gigantic NFL contest. Like it was going to be one of the largest cash prizes in the history of internet NFL contests. It was going to be massive. But what happened is that first it became like this whole insurance thing nightmare. And then it became, so then I lowered the price of the first prize, and I was just going to write the check myself for $100,000 for the winner. And then they said that my lawyers said that I needed to be bonded in certain states to do this. So it took time to do that sort of thing. So in Florida, California, and a few other states, if you're going to have entries from those states, you need to be bonded in those states, meaning you have to show them the money and like have it set in an escrow account and like all this other stuff, all stuff that is no big deal. I just, just the logistics of getting it done in the amount of times, but we had the whole system built and everything. So either we're going to do something at the halfway point of the season, or we're going to do something in a couple weeks in, or we're going to do something, or we'll save it for next year and do the original prize that I wanted to do, which is mind blowing. So, but that's the deal with the NFL contest. And I apologize for it. But I ran contests last year. Not a lot of people were interested, so that's why we decided to crank it up to unheard of levels. Good question. No such thing as stupid questions, except for the stupid questions. Knock, knock. Who's there? Jesus. Chris loves that bit. I got
You ever
a
want
I,
to?
I
I was
got
gonna
my
say, ever,
I got my $15 big play. I hit on mine yesterday, and then oh man, I had that kid from the Astros, Hunter Brown. Did you see that guy? Oh my God. We think Jorge Kirby is something special. This guy's unbelievable. Hunter Brown. They asked him, "How did you learn how to pitch like that?" Watching Justin Verlander. Grew up in Detroit. He said, watching Justin Verlander. Did your father teach you how to throw like that? Because I watched Justin Verlander and I would just imitate him. He has that over the top power throw. It was like no one could hit it.
I think they said he threw it like a 95-mile-an-hour slider, and
Yeah.
the only other person that's hit that high this season was Jacob DeGrom on a
Yeah.
slider.
Oh, he's like, I mean, it was ridiculous. We'll never see prices like that on Hunter Brown again. You know, it's like he's going to be like minus 250 next time. Speaking of minus 250, we got the Cardinals taking on the Nationals. Jose Quintana on the mound, minus 255 against Paolo Espino. The Cardinals are, I think, 7-0 on the run line as run line favorites following a loss. And I think that trend continues here. Cardinals against the Nationals. I like the Cards in this one, Chris. I think they're trudging towards, they're towards closing things out there.
Yeah, I think so too, but I'm a little bit skittish after they burned my butt yesterday. So I'm going to go with the over in this one. I think the offense, comes to play. And while I don't think that the Nationals, put up 7 runs 7 runs like they did yesterday, I think they're still going to put up enough to help us get over this number. So I'm with you. I lean towards the Cardinals, but I think my stronger play in this one is going to be the over.
All right. I like the Cardinals run line, but I can't give it out because it's not something I believe in. It's against everything I believe in. Kansas City Royals did me dirty yesterday. I thought they had it, and they let it slip away from them in extra innings, and then in extras they even had a shot. Last play went down to replay, and the replay went the other way on me. And so today they try and bounce back. Chris, son of a Bubich, up against Shane, baby Bieber.
Yeah, I'm going to stick with the Guardians on the run line in this one. Bieber has had the number of the Royals in recent years, a 2.08 ERA across his last 5 starts against Kansas City, and a 1.90 ERA in his last 7. He's pitching more and more like the staff ace for the Guardians that we've become accustomed to seeing over the years. And Chris Bubich, he's pitched well in spots, but I think this is just one of those spots where the offense is finally coming alive again. And I think they get a win on the run line in this one. So with the Cleveland Guardians minus 1.5.
I don't love the way the Guardians have been playing. I really don't. We're gonna have to see if Bieber can bounce back, and it's like this is one of those ones where it's like, the other side of it is nothing all that attractive. So it's kind of like makes it a tough bet, all the way around. It's like you don't want to lay those kind of odds because the Guardians haven't been playing that well. But it's Chris, son of a Bubich, on the other side. It's like not really sure. Not sure. How's that for positivity? Framber Valdez is pitching against Glenn Otto. The Rangers have now lost 9 games in a row. It's getting ugly out there, Chris.
Yeah, and I think it's safe to say that the wheels weren't off the cart before. They certainly are now. And you look at the Rangers during this losing streak, back to scoring being an issue. 3 runs or less scored in 7 of the 9 losses, and I think that's not going to change here against Framber Valdez. I think Valdez. Yes, he's seen a lot of the Texas Rangers this season. 4 starts against him, but 3-0 with a sub-1 ERA against Texas this year, and as well as Glenn Otto's pitch. I remember he sort of outdueled Justin Verlander back just under a month ago. But I think this is a spot where Valdez is just too much. I don't think Otto's going to be able to match zeros, and I think the Astros win this one on the run line.
Yeah, I like the Astros in this one. I just think the Rangers are just a mess. I think when we saw Simeon and Seager strike out the first 2 batters of yesterday's game, we knew they were in trouble. The Astros didn't do much offensively, and Jose Altuve takes way too many chances. I mean, 1 out from third base, he goes to score on a play that, he had like less than a 30% chance of making it home against a professional baseball player. And he goes anyway, And it's like, it would have just been 1 out with a guy on third. It's like, what are you doing, dumbass? It's like, that's what I'm thinking to myself. Well, I actually said it out loud. It's kind of like the George Carlin words that you can't say on TV. That's like the words I say while watching sports that I'm betting on. It's like, pretty much.
What is it? The 7 words that you can't say. I used all of them in one sentence without taking a breath.
We got the Rockies taking on the Brewers, and the Rockies got out to a 3-0 lead in yesterday's game, and then they actually had a chance late, but did not capitalize on that. So they go back at it today. Chad Kuhl, who hasn't been bad this season, up against Brandon Woodruff. Chris, I like the under in this thing. Call me crazy.
Yeah, it's tough for me to get on the under just with Chad Kuhl. I mean, he hasn't been terrible since coming back to the rotation, but I still have a hard time with the 8.90 ERA in his last 7. But I'm going to go with the Milwaukee Brewers here. I like Brandon Woodruff. I like the way he's been pitching up until his most recent start, where he gave up 5 runs to Arizona. But Arizona had been swinging a hot bat over that stretch, and I think Woodruff just keeps the Rockies' bats in check and helps the Brewers get a much-needed win here, but definitely not my favorite game on the board.
What specifically about the 8.90 ERA don't you like? I mean, what specifically?
How close it is to 9.
Yeah, it sure is. It sure is up there. I like the under in that thing. I think it's going to be a better game than most people think. Tigers stink. This just in. Mike Myers on the mound for the Angels up against the Tigers. The Tigers 3-7 in their last 10. The Angels 7-3. The Angels are like loose as a goose, playing solid baseball. 16 games, 17 games under 500, but playing well. I like the way the Angels are playing personally. What do you think in this one?
Yeah, it's for me. It's all about which Mike Myers is going to show up. Is it the one that threw 5 shutout innings against Tampa Bay on the road? Or the one that gave up 7 runs, 5 earned to the Yankees at home? And even against the Tigers, I think he's going to give up a couple here. But I'm leaning towards the over, mainly because I think the Angels are going to do a lot of the damage in this game. Like you said, they're playing well right now. Getting Mike Trout back in the lineup, they're swinging a hot bat, and actually absolutely took out the ugly stick on the Tigers yesterday. I think they could do it again here with Eduardo Rodriguez on the mound. So give me the over as well as a lean towards the Angels.
Angels have lost 7 in a row at night following a win. Meanwhile, the Tigers have failed to cover the run line in their last 7. Something's got to give in this one. My guess it's going to be the Tigers. Go to our next game, and it is the Padres against the Diamondbacks. A couple weeks ago on this show, I said that I was watching the games, and I saw they were interviewing Madison Bumgarner. I turned the sound on that game and listened to what he had to say, and I got to say, the guy might have a future as a manager in Major League Baseball because he pretty much nailed it, Chris. You remember this discussion? I talked about it on the show. I said, last night I was watching the Diamondbacks game. They interviewed Madison Bumgarner, and he said, I really think our pitching staff is going to come together, and everyone's going to see it over the next month or so. Man, these guys haven't had an over since. I mean, they haven't been involved in an over game since that. They've had 13 unders in a row. I mean, these guys are playing some baseball. Defense wins championships, and it's like it's fine if you can't hit if the other team scores 0. Meanwhile, Joe Musgrove, I mean, this guy, I think being the workhorse for all these seasons that he's now been for the Padres, it looks like he's a little long in the tooth here. I know he's your guy. What do you think?
Believe it or not, I'm actually anti-Joe Musgrove today. I'm on the Diamondbacks. Merrill Kelly, he's pitched just far better on the road this season. I think 7-1 with an ERA under 3, and Musgrove 4.05 ERA across his last 7. A far cry from the pitcher that was one of the ERA leaders early on in this season. And the Padres' inconsistencies are just not something I'm looking to back. Now they're back on a 3-game losing skid. And I think the Diamondbacks providing a ton of value in this one. So I'll go to Arizona.
At what point does he become a public dog? Do the Diamondbacks become a public dog? At what point in this game? That's the only thing I'm worried about in this one.
Yeah. I don't know. I still think that that's where the value is.
What are the YouTube commenters saying? Normally they love the Padres when I start to bash them here. Speaking of bashing, Cole Irvin taking on Kyle Wright in Oakland. The A's got that home record up to 22-44. Well, the Braves 37-26, breathing down the necks of the New York Mets. So the way that this works, okay, for those of you that aren't up on this, and I'll just educate. This is the educational portion of our programming. The way that this works is that the team that finishes with the worst record of the division winners, which in this case, in the National League, if the season ended today, it would be the St. Louis Cardinals. They would play the number 3 wild card team, which if the season ended today would be the San Diego Padres. Then the number 2 wild card team would play the number 1 wild card team. And these are all best of 3 series, with the higher seed being having the home field advantage in this series. So it'd be the Braves hosting the Phillies.
Okay. So number 2, so the second best division hosts the worst wild card.
No, the third best division hosts the third wild card. The first 2 get buys.
Oh, the first. Okay.
So that's the way that works, and it's their best of 3 game series. So no one's really talking about this much, but that's the way that it works. So it is for the Mets and the Braves. It is that where I'm going here, where I digress, is the Braves and the Mets, right? It's a big difference here, because if you win that division, you got the bye. You're free. You're clear on the bye, because the Mets have 85 wins, the Braves have 84 wins, the Cardinals 79-56. So they have about a 5-game cushion there on the Cards, and the Brew Crew, they've fallen out of it in the Central. So they're looking at a wild card at best. So those are going to be your division winners, either the Mets or the Braves, the Cardinals and the Dodgers, and the winner of that Mets Braves for the division will get a bye. The loser, the other team, they have to play a 3-game series. They'll be the home team, and it will be against the Phillies or the Padres or the Brewers. But if there's any luck, it'll be against the Phillies, right, or for them or Padres. But I don't know. Meanwhile, the Braves are playing the A's. This is a must-win game.
Yeah, I think must-win is where the Atlanta Braves thrive, and I think Kyle Wright, now the uncrowned ace, in my opinion, of this Braves rotation, with Max Fried having issues here and there.
What about Strider?
Yeah, I think Strider definitely is capable of still being the number 3 or number 2 even pitcher of this rotation. But I really like what Kyle Wright's done this season. Back-to-back 7-inning shutouts against Colorado and Pittsburgh. I think he holds another struggling team down here. I like the Braves a lot in this one.
All right. Yep, I like the Braves too. I just think it's a no-brainer.
Yeah.
This is like an overlay on your parlays type pick. This is one that if the A's win, that everyone in the comments say, baseball's fixed. It's like, I'm waiting for football. It's like there's no questionable calls in football or something. It's like, oh my God, man. Did you not watch the Indiana-Illinois game? It's like...
Did you not watch Oklahoma State where they reviewed it?
Did you not watch the last? Did you not watch the last 45 seconds of the Super Bowl? I mean, come on.
Oh man.
Seattle versus the White Sox. Seattle, that short schedule did not help them yesterday. They looked very much the part, but now Logan Gilbert on the mound here against first ballot Hall of Famer Johnny Cueto. I don't know. The Mariners still red hot. The White Sox are back in it. They really needed that Guardians loss yesterday. Is what would have really, really helped them. But, if they could keep playing, they got a shot here, What do you think?
Only 2 games out after yesterday's win. But, yeah, I like the under in this one. I think it's just going to be a bona fide pitcher's duel. Johnny Cueto's pitched far better on the road this season as it is, and has allowed one run or less in 3 of his last 4 starts. And Logan Gilbert, he has pitched better on the road than at home, but he's still one of the most consistent arms in this Mariners rotation. I think he he keeps the Mariners in play here, and I think this is going to be a first to 3 wins kind of game, pitchers duel. So give me the under between the Mariners and White Sox.
I've gone back and forth on this thing. In the video, I took the Mariners, but I could easily be convinced on the White Sox. For me, this is one I'm not touching as far as the side goes, but I'd probably go with the under when it comes to the score for the total. But as far as the side, I think it's coin flip. In which case, probably better off taking the dog, if it's coin flip. Will first ballot Johnny Cueto get the win tonight in Seattle? Whoa. 3-word in, what, 2? Oh, there it is. Took all the guesswork out of it. I don't know if you guys can see it. It's going to flip. It said yes.
We were counting down the words. I was like, what was it? Don't count on it. Don't. It is certain.
And that says yes.
There you go. I mean, I think that is where the value is. If it's a coin flip game, you're getting plus 126 on the White Sox.
Future cloudy. Ask again. Got the Dodgers taking on the Giants. I had the Giants yesterday. I gave it out in the video. Did the full Monty on that one. And I don't know. I just thought getting Logan Webb at 2-1 on our money doesn't get much better than that. Chris, what do you think of this one? We got to wrap it up here.
Yeah, I don't see anyone. Excuse me for the Giants right now, but I may still lean towards the Giants just based on value. Tyler Anderson hasn't been as sharp. He's still been pretty decent for the Dodgers as of late, but I think the Giants are the more desperate team here in a division rivalry game. I think they come to play, but it's hard for me to make a solid wager without knowing who the Giants are starting in this one.
I'm going to go with the Giants. I don't care who's pitching. Let's go to the parlay section of the show. Who do you like?
I'll go with the over 6.5 between the Twins and the Yankees. I'll go with the Cincinnati Reds, and I'll go with the Atlanta Braves.
I'll go with the Marlins. Put them with the Marlins, with the Cardinals run line, with the Marlins, Cardinals run line, and the Giants. This is Mitch. Thanks for joining us. Make it a winning day. We appreciate each and every one of you. Knock, knock.